Okay. And that's what I just said, right? We're going to start with Thermatoga and with Aquifex. These organisms in this tree have two outstanding properties. One is that they are deeply branching, right? That the branch originates deep in this group. And so, for example, if you were to divide the bacteria into two basic phylogenetic branches, it would be Aquifex and everything else. That's what deep branching means. Also, those branches are short. That is, these organisms are primitive, at least in terms of their molecular sequences. In this case, ribosomal RNA, but that's true for other gene sequences as well. And so these organisms represent early divergences in the bacterial kingdom, or domain, and primitive. There is a lot of uncertainty in that deep branching. There is reason to believe that that might be an artifact of long branch attraction. So we talked about long branch attraction earlier. And one aspect, so these are all long branches, and the fact that they cluster together may be just long branch attraction. There's reason to think that that's not the case, but it is a danger. And so over-interpreting these deep branching arrangements is probably a mistake. There's reason to believe, particularly, that ribosomal RNAs are going to be subject to this, an artifact of them being deep branching and also primitive, because these organisms are thermophilic. And molecules in organisms that live at high temperatures are going to be more sensitive to the transient defects that occur during the evolution of a sequence. So if you have a big RNA superstructure, in order to change a base pair, it has to be a mismatch for a while, right, until the compensatory change can take place. Those mismatches will have a much more deleterious effect for an RNA that has to function at 95 degrees than for one that has to function at 15 degrees. The same is true for proteins, right, is that the structure maybe is discombobulated a little bit by a single point mutation, and the evolutionary clock starts ticking for a compensation for that. And the clock may be short running here and faster running up there. And so these short branches and deep divergences, there's some reason to think they may be an artifact of the tree process or of their evolutionary processes, but that's a little unclear. We're going to talk about thermophilicity in just a few minutes.